Hello and welcome all to this World Bank webinar series on smart cities. My name is Ilari Lindi and I will be hosting the webinar for you today. I'm a Senior Operations Officer at the World Bank ICT practice. Today's webinar, Open Living Labs in Action, will open up a little bit what does instruments like Living Lab do, how they operate and how they can be used either as an approach or as an instrument to promote user-driven innovation process. This series shows us two interesting examples in Vitoria, Brazil and in Poznan, Poland, and the drivers behind the Living Labs. The idea is really to present how municipal authorities and their stakeholders can co-create services and even policies together with citizens and other stakeholders such as academia, business and civil society. We are hosting this webinar together with our partner organization ENOL, European Network of Living Labs, which I'm sure both presenters in their own terms will tell a little bit more about. But as a host, I would like to welcome you all now on this event. And please note that we will record this series, so in 24 hours you will get a link to your mailbox where you can go and visit the webinar again. This is interactive session, so we will start with the presentations, 20 minutes each, and after that we will open up for questions. So during the presentations we will be happy to get any questions you may have in, and we try to take all of those for discussion at the end of the session. So let me just start by introducing our first presenter, Ms. Miriam de Magdala Pinto. Miriam is an innovation management researcher and teacher in Vitoria, Brazil. Her work focuses on social innovation, and she uses human-centered design and systemic innovation as a basic working tools. Since 2010, Miriam has coordinated Habitat Living Lab, which is a member of the European Network of Living Labs, as well as the Latin American Network of Living Labs, LACNO. Currently, Miriam teaches at the production department of Federal University of Espírito Santo, where she coordinates the Laboratory of Technologies to support collaborative network, LabTAR. Our second speaker will be right after Miriam, Adam Olszewski, and he's a technology transfer team leader at the Poznan Supercomputing and Networking Center. Adam has MA at the University of Poznan. He's a graduate of Computer Networks and Internet Applications at Poznan University of Technology, as well as Top 500 Innovators program at Stanford University. He is also appreciated at Exponent Polycom Plug and Play in Menlo Park and San Francisco, as well as the co-founder of PNC's tech transfer company. Today, Adam's main duties include also the managing the Poznan Living Lab and Zoo co-working space, a physical hub for ICT user communities, and he is a Polish ICT contact point for the framework programs of research and innovation in European Commission. He is also co-founder and the manager of Wielkopolska ICT cluster already since 2008. So to get started, may I ask Miriam you to give us some thoughts and experiences on Living Lab in Vitoria, Brazil. Floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, Hilary, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone. It is a great pleasure for me to have this opportunity to share with you my experience with system-driven innovation, mainly social innovation. I'm a professor at the Federal University of Espírito Santo in Brazil, and so my main link is with academia. However, my experience with system-driven innovation comes from the coordination of Habitat Living Lab, a network of organizations whose purpose is to develop and apply new technologies with low-income communities to improve their habitat. At my university, Habitat is formalized as an extension program. Let me start situating where we are. We are in the southeast part of Brazil. Espírito Santo State, in the Espírito Santo State, Vitoria is the capital. And we are almost 500 kilometers distant from Rio de Janeiro. As you can see, Vitoria is a very beautiful medium-sized city with approximately 330,000 inhabitants. However, the contrasts in our city are very clear, as you can see. Such a contrast can be better seen in this aerial view of our city, where there are 50 areas concentrated its efforts. In Polygonal 1 live approximately 33,000 people. That corresponds to almost 10% of the city's population. It includes 8 communities or 8 neighborhoods, and it is named by the own residents by Território do Bem. You can also see that the Federal University of Espírito Santo, UFES, where I work, is very close to Território do Bem. We are almost neighbors. And now I want to see and to show you who we are. As I have already told you, we are a network of organizations. And the 3 main organizations in this network are a community forum named Fórum Bem Maior, integrated by the community leaders, an NGO, Associação Ateliê de Ideias. It promotes the local development at low-income areas, and an academic lab, a multidisciplinary academic lab, LabTAR, where I work. Fórum Bem Maior is a participatory governance instance. Formal and informal leaders of the 8 communities that integrate Território do Bem meet regularly to approve or to evaluate loans from the community bank. LabTAR, the last one, is an acronym in Portuguese for Laboratory of Supporting Technologies for Collaborative Networks. It is a multidisciplinary lab whose purpose is to promote the creation and development of collaborative networks for innovation involving academia, government sector, private sector, and segments of civil society supporting the work in those networks. Now I want to tell you how this network has evolved briefly. Everything started in 2003. The NGO Associação Ateliê de Ideias started its activities in the area aiming to promote the local development. Working with the community, the NGO identified the need to promote the local economy. And together, both the community and the NGO team, they invested in a community bank that opened in 2005. The community bank supports the conservation of wealth within the community by circulating and providing microcredits in local currency. The local currency is named bem, and one bem is equal to R$1. During its 10 years of operation, the bank has granted loans to the community in values corresponding to almost $5,000. The implementation in 2005 of the community bank was the first main social innovation accomplished. It is maintained since then by partnerships with private and public institutions. The need to empower the community to engage and to drive the community bank led to the constitution of the community forum that's named Fórum Bem Maior. Fórum Bem Maior acts as a political forum achieving a consistent and fair dialogue inside the community and also with external actors. During 2007, Fórum Bem Maior, in partnership with the university, did a survey all over the region. The results of the survey were the main support for the strategic planning they did in 2008. The strategic plan was, and still is, used to guide projects portfolio. One of the projects originated from the strategic plan is named Ecos do Bem, an environmental educational project that has been capable to involve the community and also people from outside on activities to clean up the dumps that existed in the area. However, garbage management is still a very huge problem in the community. It's a challenge. Another community demand made clear from the strategic plan was the need to improve the housing conditions in the region. Answering to it, the community bank launched a credit line for housing and a project named Bem Morar, including credit, technical assistance, and the construction of houses using clean technologies, was launched in 2008 by the NGO Associação Ateliê de Ideias. The clean technologies used were soil cement bricks and also low-cost water heating solar panels. Programa Bem Morar, however, was not the only initiative to improve the housing conditions in the region. One decade before, in 1998, the municipality of Vitoria had started to act in the region in a project named Projeto Terra. This project sought to incorporate the areas occupied by low-income populations into the urban fabric. The actions resulted mainly to be sanitary sewage works, water supply works, draining, improvement in construction of stairs and alleys, reconstructions, house improvements, and resettlements. However, Projeto Terra was not able to promote working alliances with the community, the existing projects in the community, and was weak in gathering partners. Now, turning back to Programa Bem Morar, the demand for knowledge in architecture and civil engineering knowledge is strengthening the relationship with the university. Production engineering department added knowledge to improve the production process of the soil cement bricks factory. Until this point, we were working together with the community, NGO, academia, but not in a formalized way. And then the formalization of Living Lab came when in 2009, community leaders, NGO representatives, and professors from UFIS came in contact with the Living Lab methodology through the European Network of Living Labs, ENOL. The group thought that having an ENOL label could open up possibilities for obtaining funds and support through international partnership. and we received the Enol label in 2010. Now I want to highlight some projects. Since after Habitat's formalization as a living lab, the projects I had already shown were kept in operation and others started. One is Connect Ideias. It is an online platform developed by a partnership among LabTAR, a private enterprise of IT, the NGO, and the community of Território do Bem with public funding. It facilitates the collective construction of new ideas and solutions. The other project is named Bem Forte. Bem Forte aims to strengthen the social currency in Território do Bem. After 10 years in circulation, it was clear that the local currency was getting weak. Through a collaborative design process involving all the actors I had already mentioned, the community bank technicians and managers, community dwellers also, and the Laboratory of Software Development linked to another federal institute in the Espírito Santo, the project led to the comprehension that the problematic that was weakening the local currency is systemic, and to the conclusion that the introduction of electronic currency demand of the community bank managers was not able to reverse the situation. As the strengthening of the local currency is systemic, it requires a network structure to be solved. The third project is named TED Talk Exhibitions at Território do Bem. It is an itinerant videos exhibition that takes place in the territorio. It involves a partnership with a design private enterprise, and it is funded by UFIS. Selected TED Talks are shown in a very informal manner in public spaces, bringing together children, young people, elderly, adults, community leaders, to listen to new ideas that have been relevant in other contexts and maybe can open up new possibilities for them. It is just an inspired initiative. And our membership allowed international exposition to Habitat, and I want to highlight some experiences of our international insertion. During 2012 and 2013, Habitat integrated the Ibero-American Network for research on European innovation models based on users, funded by the Ibero-American Program of Science and Technology for Development. Within this research network took place in Vitoria in 2013, the first Ibero-American Symposium on Citizens Laboratories, gathering experiences of 80 countries. From 2012 to 2014, Habitat integrated the housing manufacture and warden for the Urban Poor project. This project attempts to develop strategies for the achievement of the United Nations Millennium Goals, especially those referring to development of sustainable housing, ecological treatment of wastewater, and generation of local production chains. The HMW project was led by the Technical University of Berlin and involved partner universities, NGOs, and city administrations in Africa, Latin America, and India, and it was funded by German institutions as the AAD. The main results of our work in this group were the development of a minimal biofactor for recycling civil construction waste, object of a patent deposit, and also a binational event named Urban Solutions for Território do Bem, a Brazil-Germany meeting that took place at a municipal elementary school in Território do Bem. Brazilian and German professors and students, public servants, NGO members, local leaders and dwellers attended the meeting. All participants working together had the opportunity to evaluate the actual urban development of the territory and the results obtained during the last decade in the region in terms of the habitat conditions. The comparison between the perceived situations by the groups in 2004 to 2014 demonstrated how much the living conditions have improved in the period. And the meeting had the important role of making the municipality of Vitoria become closer to Habitat Living Lab. Such a way that in 2015, Habitat Living Lab and Vitoria municipalities became formal partners in a nationwide project, the Brazilian Network of Human and Smart Cities, driven by the National Front of Majors. And now I want to highlight the main lessons learned from this experience with citizen-driven innovation. And the first one is related to our long-lasting cooperation. Collaboration for a long period was facilitated by formal projects. The commitment to achieving compromises was important for all involved parties to overcome the difficulties that eventually occur when different actors work together. The another one's related to heterogeneous learning network. The quality of cooperation of heterogeneous actors and existence of arrangements to facilitate collective learning and knowledge transfer at regional or local levels seemed critical for success.